Haiti is one of the poorest countries in the world. Why would anyone want to travel to such a place? Well, Reverend Sandra asked us to go, and so we went. I always knew that Haiti was a very poor third world country. A teacher friend went several years ago with his church, and I remember him telling me of the conditions, but it was very difficult to visualize. Our niece Sarah, who works for Partners in Health, visited Haiti with a group of teachers the September after the earthquake. She sent us an inspiring email while she was there, describing her thoughts and feelings about what she saw and what she was experiencing. Her email was so moving and thought-provoking that it made me all the more want to go. When the earthquake hit, it really touched home because I knew that Sandra's mother, father, and sister were living there. And we were all very anxious until she was able to make contact with them and know that they were okay. The whole world responded by donating money, medical supplies, water, and food. Donating money was easy, but we knew we needed to do more. It would take several months before the airport was open and Sandra was able to fly home. The pictures she brought back were shocking and heartbreaking. The needs were so great. By the fall of 2010, we knew that somehow, some way, we would put together a group from this church to travel to Haiti. Sandra held informational meetings, and John and I were the first to sign up. We were hoping to go in February, but realized that we would need more time to prepare and raise the money we would need. Sandra found that our team would be able to travel to Haiti through the Hope for the Children of Haiti organization, but that we would need at least 10 people. We only had 5 confirmed. We prayed about it, we advertised that our church would be going, and we were looking for other team members. Our friends Loris and Heather jumped on board during this time. Sandra signed the team up to take Creole lessons at Christ Episcopal Church. A member of that church heard about us, and someone else read about what we were doing in the papers, and finally our prayers were answered, and we had 11 team members. We spent the next several months studying Creole, learning more about the Haitian culture, and raising money. God had provided us with so very much. We never imagined that we would be able to raise the over $16,000 that we would need. After spaghetti suppers, jazz concerts, selling geraniums, selling candy bars, and the generous donations of all our family and friends, we were able to exceed our goal. God continued to bless us even while we were in Haiti. We had enough money to give an additional $400 to the Baptist Mission and $400 to the Wings of Hope, a home for disabled children that we were able to visit. We are still receiving gifts and will be able to make another donation to the Hope for the Children of Haiti. God is so very good. On November 4th, 11 individuals boarded a plane for Haiti, not knowing exactly what we would see and feel. People asked me if I was nervous or anxious about going. I told them that I was at total peace and that God would be watching all of us and we had nothing to fear. Luckily, Sandra had prepared us well for what we would experience once we left the airport in Haiti, but she could not prepare us entirely for what we would see. Driving to the orphanage, we would see thousands of tents, buildings in various states of collapsing, streets in total disrepair, trash everywhere. It was very eye-opening. It was hard to believe that almost 2 years after the earthquake, it looked like nothing had been done to improve the living conditions of the people in Port-au-Prince. Street vendors lined the streets selling everything from eggs to medicines to coal for cooking. The streets were so crowded with stalls and people, it made it very difficult to navigate. We finally reached our destination, the Marian Austin School and Orphanage. There we were greeted by John, the director, and by the intern, Caitlin. We brought in all of our bags of donations that we had packed into 22 suitcases, and we were finally introduced to the children that we were praying for. Driving back and forth from the orphanage to Bethel House where we would stay, we saw all sorts of sights. Pigs roaming the streets and eating from piles of trash, emaciated dogs everywhere, piles of rubble, high walls covered with barbed wire, metal doorways, gates with armed guards, women sitting elbow deep in baskets of charcoal, street artists selling colorful, beautiful paintings, trash and more trash. Most of the children were very happy to meet us, while a few were very standoffish. Over the week, some of us became attached to a few of the children as we learned more and more about their lives. Marion and I had become friends, and it was difficult leaving her, knowing that her future was not very bright. There was little chance that she would be able to find a life outside of the orphanage. This is one of the hardest and most breaking parts of the trip. We can only hope and pray that these children will have a bright future. Returning home and back to work was difficult. I wanted to scream at the students who take for granted the education that they are receiving, the homes that they live in, the food on their tables, and most of all, not appreciating the fact that they can go outside and play and not spend their lives living within four walls, covered with barbed wire, and behind metal doors that are guarded 24/7. We do not appreciate the fact that when we flip a light switch, the lights will go on and stay on, that we can go to a grocery store and purchase a week's worth of groceries and not worry that we won't have the refrigeration to keep it fresh, that we can turn on a faucet and we will always have clean, running water, that we can stand in a shower for as long as we want and probably not run out of hot water. We all have indoor plumbing, and most of us may have even more than one bathroom. Can you imagine always having to use a public restroom and never having any privacy? We all have a supply of flashlights and candles on hand in the event that a storm and we may lose power. But we do not have to worry about that day after day, month after month, year after year. It is not a life, it's not a way of life with us like it is for the people of Haiti. We all want basic necessities to live. We are such a blessed people, and we should be praising and thanking God constantly for all that we have. It was difficult to find anything uplifting and promising. I was looking for some sign of hope. I found some hope when we visited the Baptist mission in the mountains. Here, the Haitian people are taught skills that they can use to provide for their families. The women learn how to bake. Men are taught how to make furniture. They are provided with materials to paint pictures. They are taught to sculpt and make pottery. The mission also brings in teams to build homes. They have opened 350 churches and schools. They are empowering people to take care of themselves. It was so heartwarming to walk through the hospital, see the operating room, visit the clinic, and purchase a loaf of bread from the bakery. Dr. Baker, his wife Patty, and their family are truly God's missionaries. They just do not hear of the need, but they listened and acted on it. I purchased this cross from the gift shop at the Baptist Mission. It was made by one of the sculptors as a gift to the church to say thank you for all that you did for all of us. I found hope in the beautiful flowers that are blooming, even through the barbed wire and rubble. I found hope holding a little baby and prayed that someone would adopt this little girl and give her a better life. I found hope in the smiles of the children attending school in the orphanage. These children are able to attend school and hopefully are able to better live their lives, but it bothered me that there is no place for children to go out and play safely. We wondered how we were going to be able to fly the kites that we made with the children. No open spaces, but we were able to fly kites from the roof of the orphanage and those kites flew high into the clouds. I cannot believe that my God will give up on his people. The faith of the people of Haiti is incredible. Even with all that they have endured and are living through, they have smiles on their faces. While I was painting the kitchen in the boys' house, one of the nannies was singing the most beautiful song I ever heard. Even without knowing the words, I knew that she was singing and praising God. In those moments, she touched my heart and brought me to tears. I tried to find out the name of the song because I so much wanted to bring it back, but no one seemed to know what it was. The hardest part of the trip was when Sandra found out that her mother was in the hospital and that she would need to stay with her family. She had worked so hard in planning the trip and preparing the team. Every day we hoped that she would be able to rejoin us. But then early on Monday morning, we received the call from Sandra letting us know that her mother had passed away and that she would be staying in Haiti for at least another week. At that moment, we all realized that God had another plan for Sandra and the team when we planned we would arrive. It was truly his plan to have us all in Haiti during this most difficult time for Sandra and her family. Not our will, but his will be done. We were so well prepared that we could manage whatever came our way. I will never forget the devastation that we saw, the people we met, and the lives that we may have touched, even if only for a few moments. At times, I felt that what we were doing was so insignificant. But when the boys told us how much they appreciated their house and the rooms being painted, and that their windows now had screens, and the fans would keep them cool, it made it all worthwhile.